There is something almost heartbreaking about watching a smart person ruin their own life in slow motion. Someone brilliant, someone capable, someone who knows better, someone who can explain the problem perfectly, give advice to others effortlessly, and understand every consequence in advance. Yet somehow, when it comes to their own life, they make choices that hurt them. They stay where they should not stay. They chase what they know will break them. They avoid what they know they should confront. They say yes when they mean no. They run back to old patterns they swore they would outgrow. People look at them and say, "How could someone so smart do something so stupid?" But intelligence has nothing to do with it. Smart people do not make self-destructive choices because they are ignorant. They make them because intelligence does not protect you from emotional wounds. Intelligence does not silence trauma. Intelligence does not override fear. And intelligence does not erase the patterns you learned long before you were old enough to understand them. Today we are going to explore why smart people make self-destructive choices. Not the surface-level reasons, but the deep psychological ones that shape behavior long before logic has a chance to intervene. And by the end, you will understand yourself and others in a way that feels more compassionate, more honest, and more human. Let's begin with the first truth. The emotional brain operates faster than the rational one. When something triggers a wound, a memory, or a fear, your emotional brain responds instantly. Before logic, before planning, before wisdom, emotional reactions can hijack the entire system. When someone feels unworthy, afraid, lonely, ashamed, or abandoned, intelligence does not step in and say, "Hold on, let's think this through." The emotional brain acts first. The rational brain explains it later. This is why someone can know that texting an ex is a bad idea, yet still do it. Or why someone stays in a job that crushes them, or returns to a relationship that hurts them, or engages in habits they know will destroy their peace. They are not stupid. They are in pain, and pain makes decisions before logic does. Another reason smart people self-destruct is the illusion of control. Smart people often believe they can outthink emotional consequences. They tell themselves things like, "I can handle this. I know what I am doing. I will stop before it gets too bad. I am strong enough to deal with this." They convince themselves that they are the exception, that they can play with fire without being burned. This illusion of control shows up in relationships too. A smart person might think, "Yes, this person is emotionally unavailable, but I can fix it." Or, "Yes, this situation is unhealthy, but I understand myself enough to manage it." The truth is, the need to prove control becomes its own trap. Self-destruction often comes disguised as a challenge, and smart people love challenges. Now let's talk about overthinking. Many self-destructive choices are not impulsive at all. Some happen because someone gets stuck in analysis. Overthinking becomes avoidance. A smart person can rationalize staying in a painful situation because they overanalyze every possible alternative. They think so deeply that they never act. They get lost in what-if scenarios. They weigh consequences endlessly. They pick apart every nuance. And while they overthink, life continues to unfold in ways they did not choose, but allowed. Overthinking creates paralysis. Paralysis creates inaction. Inaction creates outcomes that feel like failure. And failure becomes another emotional wound. So the cycle repeats. Another powerful reason is trauma disguised as logic. Smart people are excellent at creating explanations for their behavior. They can intellectualize their pain. They can rationalize their wounds. They can justify staying in unhealthy situations by turning emotional habits into logical stories. For example, someone might say, "I know this relationship is not great, but it teaches me patience." Or, "I know this stress is hurting me, but it pushes me to grow." Or, "I know this person hurts me, but love is supposed to be hard." In reality, these logical explanations are emotional defenses. Trauma teaches people to normalize suffering, so they find intelligent ways to support their emotional patterns instead of confronting them. Another core reason smart people repeat harmful patterns is the addiction to familiar pain. This is one of the hardest truths to accept. The brain is wired to seek the familiar, not the healthy. A smart person might say they want happiness, stability, and peace. But if their childhood or past experiences taught them that love feels like chaos, or attention feels like inconsistency, or affection feels like instability, then that is what the nervous system seeks. This is why a smart person may feel bored with healthy relationships and magnetically drawn to unhealthy ones. The familiar pain feels safe because it is predictable. The unknown happiness feels dangerous because it is unpredictable. The brain prefers painful certainty over peaceful uncertainty. This pattern is known as repetition compulsion. It is the urge to recreate old emotional wounds in new situations, hoping this time it will end differently. Smart people fall into this trap because the emotional brain is trying to rewrite history through repetition. They think they are making a free choice, but the truth is, their past is choosing for them. Another factor is the fear of success. People talk about fear of failure, but fear of success is often stronger. Success comes with visibility, it comes with expectations, it comes with pressure, it comes with change. If someone does not believe they deserve good things, success feels threatening, so they sabotage opportunities to avoid facing the fear of rising too high. Smart people sabotage their own goals, because succeeding means stepping into a future version of themselves they do not feel ready for. So they choose comfort over growth, even when comfort is painful. Another important point is emotional intensity. Many intelligent people feel things more deeply than others. Their mind does not just think, it analyzes, anticipates, imagines, and magnifies. This depth of perception creates brilliance, but also creates suffering. When smart people hurt, they hurt with detail. When they fear with awareness. When they feel shame, they analyze it until it becomes heavier. Self-destructive choices often come from wanting temporary relief from overwhelming intensity, not long-term destruction. Just a moment of silence from the noise in their mind. This leads into the next point. Smart people often choose relief over solutions, not because they cannot see the solution, but because solutions require time, discomfort, vulnerability, or confrontation. Relief is immediate. Solutions are slow. Relief numbs pain for a moment. Solutions require walking through it. This relief-seeking creates patterns like overworking, overeating, overspending, or constantly entering emotionally draining relationships. These choices deliver quick escape, and when someone is emotionally overwhelmed, escape feels more necessary than healing. Smart people also self-destruct, because they are often labeled as the strong one, the reliable one, the stable one, the one who has everything together, the one people go to for advice, the one who cannot fall apart because everyone depends on them. This pressure becomes unbearable over time. Being the strong one means hiding pain, hiding fear, hiding vulnerability, hiding exhaustion, and sometimes self-destruction becomes a rebellion against the role, a way of saying, I cannot keep being who you expect me to be. Another powerful reason is emotional isolation. Smart people often feel misunderstood because their thoughts are complex, layered, and fast. When they try to express their feelings, they feel unheard or misinterpreted, so they keep things inside. Over time, silence becomes isolation. Isolation becomes suffering, and suffering becomes self-destructive choices meant to fill an emotional void. Now let's talk about the turning point. The moment smart people begin to break the cycle is the moment they realize self-destruction is not the problem. It is the symptom. The symptom of a heart that has been hurt, the symptom of a mind that has carried too much, the symptom of a nervous system shaped by fear, the symptom of wounds left untreated. The moment someone sees the pattern begins to lose its power. Awareness is the beginning of healing. When a smart person names the emotional force behind a decision, they reclaim control. The real solution is not becoming smarter, it is becoming safer within yourself. Self-destruction fades when someone begins to trust themselves emotionally, when they stop fighting their wounds and start understanding them, when they stop intellectualizing pain and start feeling it, when they stop repeating old patterns and start choosing new ones. Because here is the truth. Smart people do not break because they are weak. They break because they are carrying more than anyone knows. They think deeply, feel deeply, love deeply, and hurt deeply. They suffer quietly because they believe they must be strong. Their intelligence makes them aware of every flaw, every risk, every possible outcome, and that awareness becomes a prison. Self-destructive choices are not signs of stupidity. They are signs of unhealed pain. They are signs of emotional exhaustion. They are signs of someone trying to survive with the tools they have. And the moment they understand this, the cycle can finally end.